Hey, look out. It's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
There they are, that young couple. They're good looking too, aren't they? It's Bill and Pam Mutz, and they are, among other things, speakers for Weekend to Remember. They are live in Auckland, New Zealand.
Wow.
We may have a slight delay, but it's all good. Hey, guys, how are you?
We're terrific this morning and ready for going into Milford Sound. We're actually on a cruise, and so that's a big fjord on the south side of New Zealand.
Nice.
Yeah.
Boy. You are in a beautiful area down there. Well, I guess down around there, around the other side of town, and you are already on a day ahead of us. So you already know what's going to happen.
I know. If we could figure out how to use that, that would be beneficial.
I know.
Wouldn't it,
Dan,
though?
here's
That'd
a
be
piece
awesome.
of trivia. So when you spell fjord, Fjord, that's up in the Norwegian Scandinavian area.
FJI.
Right.
Uh-huh.
But if you spell fjord down here, it's
J with no I.
No, J. No, J. Fiord.
So no longer is it a piece of trivia because it's not.
But apparently they spell it the right way, because that's how it sounds, is fjord,
Yeah,
F-I-O-R-D. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Bill and Pam, as I mentioned, our family life speakers, been doing it for 23 years. And before we went live, I was telling Bill and Pam that as I was prepping for the interview, I just flew right over the 12 children and went straight to the 31 grandchildren. Then I stopped and I said, wait a minute, these guys had 12 children? When did you have time for that?
It's up to you, baby.
Well, it was just every other year. We had gone to our first Weekend to Remember when it was just for staff people that were involved with Cru, Campus Crusade for Christ, which is now called Cru. And so I was trying to decide whether to get married or not. And
I kind of pushed her a little into that,
Not just a little. But so it was such it was so foundational, very foundational for us.
So talk about how you guys got involved. I mean, apparently you were on staff, but how did you guys get involved in doing these Weekend to Remember conferences? And what is it about the conference that just really touched your heart? Because, I mean, looking at you guys have a beautiful marriage after 12 kids and 31 grandkids.
You broke up just a little, Dan, for us at our end, and I apologize for that break. But you're saying to talk a little bit about the conferences with respect to what?
No, how you got involved, how we got involved.
Oh, we were city ministry directors originally for having it in Indianapolis, which is where we lived. And so we were kind of the local coordinators to try and encourage conferences and conferees to attend. And Indianapolis conference blew up pretty well, which was good. And we watched it grow and get bigger every year.
We apologize. There is a slight delay, and we freeze every now and then, or Bill and Pam freezes from Auckland, New Zealand, but kind of giving us the background of how they're were on staff and a part of family life, the Weekend to Remember for 23 years, which is pretty amazing. Bill, Pam, either one of you, and no doubt you have many, many stories. Give us one story that sticks out over the years that, maybe a spouse said, hey, it's over, I'm done. They came to a Weekend to Remember and it all changed.
When you have the foundational truths, the biblical truths for marriage since God is the one who created marriage, it makes all the difference, because it depends what set of glasses you have on. If you're looking at marriage through the world's view or through God's view. And actually, that he's the creator of marriage. And so that's what's exciting, is to live out the way in which he has called us in marriage. And God gives equal footing both to the man and to the woman, that there is value in both of us. And I so appreciate the strategies, the communication, the understanding that we gained through the Family Life Conference. And as we teach every time we go, we continue to gain and be reminded of the principles that make a difference.
I think with respect to the family size too, which is, Brooke, I think a little bit what you were referring to, our perspective changed for things that last forever. And so, when you think of areas you want to trust God in, and I'm not saying if you go to a Family Life Conference, you're going to have a lot of kids. That's not what we're talking about. But when you're
in the water.
Yeah, when you are trusting God for the things he shows you together as a couple, being obedient to whatever that is important.
Yeah. And the Weekend to Remember conference is coming to Atlanta March 31st through April 2nd at the Crown Plaza, Atlanta Perimeter, Ravinia. And you guys, from what I understand, you guys are going to be there speaking. What are you guys looking forward to in coming to Atlanta?
I don't know if we broke up again, Dan, or
we are not going to be doing the Atlanta conference this time.
Oh, you're not?
We are subbing for a couple that was going to interview with you that are on the team.
I gotcha. Okay.
They're going to be there.
All right.
Okay.
Well, it's really
we love
cool.
Atlanta, though, and had two of our daughters and families that live there.
Oh, that's awesome. Bill and Pam Mutz, Family Life speakers, or Weekend to Remember speakers, been speakers for 23 years and have been married 45 years, I think. I read 12 children and 31 grandchildren. And as Dan mentioned, Weekend to Remember is coming up March 31st to April 2nd at the Ravinia at Crown Plaza, Atlanta Perimeter. And we're giving away, which you can enter, a chance to win tickets, plus one lucky winner will win registration and a 2-night stay in the hotel, which is cool. I'm trying to remember, Bill and Pam, I'm trying to remember how many years ago my wife and I went through a Weekend to Remember. It's probably been a good 20 years. We've been married 40 now. So, and I think Dan and Kathy, I'm speaking for you, Dan, I think you guys went through that as well, not at the same time. But, I was a willing participant. I know that there sometimes aren't, but I thought it was amazing. It was an amazing weekend, Friday and Saturday. I think we did it. So I would recommend it to couples that are been married for a while or just getting started. It is good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Bill, Pam, real quick before we have to go, what's next for you guys after you get back?
Well, we have a lot going on, both in our families that we're working through. There's always some issues in families, and that's okay, as well as work that we have to do at home. I serve as mayor in our town, so it lets me have an opportunity to stay busy all the time. Pam's I'm
working on a book that I hope to get finished here by April 1st. And really, it's called The 12 Things I Learned When I Gave Up Birth Control, the power of a surrendered heart. And what it's about is surrendering to God. And as Bill said earlier, it is what God calls each of us to surrender to. We all have different areas. And so that's more the issue. I was also going to say concerning the conference, and Rick, I really liked what you said, that you were going to spice up your marriage, just kind of smooth out some of those areas that we all need to work on. But I want to say too that we have revamped the conference with shorter talks, more on point, and that it's really great too for this next generation who can't sit as well, perhaps, like myself. And so it's really great.
You were a forerunner.
Yeah, it's really great to see younger people that are coming to get their marriages tuned up. And also, when you are in those tough spots, to know that there's people there to support you, pray for you. So I want to encourage, like you said, people of all that are coming from all points of view in marriage.
Yeah, I think it's a weekend when you walk away far richer, and you don't necessarily expect that when you go. You expect to maybe get convicted over some areas or have an elbow on your side, when in fact the reality is God does a mighty work in marriages during those weekends with willing hearts.
Well,
Good stuff. Good stuff. Bill and Pam Mutz, they are Weekend Remember speakers. Excuse me. They are in Auckland, New Zealand. So you guys be safe. Have a good time. We would love to talk to you when you get back about Weekend to Remembers, your family, the book, anything. We'll just catch up with you. And we appreciate all that you guys do. Blessings to you and your kids and your grandkids. Again, it is Bill and Pam. They've been a part of Weekend to Remember for 23 years. And if you go to our website, faithtalkatlanta.com, you can enter to win not only registration, but a stay at the Ravinia there. It's March 31st through April 2nd coming up soon.
That'd be a privilege for us.
Awesome. Well, let's take a break. Dan, we'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.